Good morning. My name is Michael R. Roser, and I am Chief Coaching Facilitator and co-founder of my company, Strategic Life Coaching, LLC. Please join me for this video and others at my website, abundantlifeslc.com. Well, guys, you probably saw my weigh-in this morning, and a pleasure to be sure. 3 pounds down from last week to 213.4. Keep in mind now that that 6.6 that I gained the other week was probably due to water and things, and not getting out and getting those purposeful calories in. This week I made an adjustment, and thankfully it paid off. So today, guys, I wanted to talk about this idea of self-actualization and what that actually means. Because I believe that is what we're really going for here when we're trying to change our life and become better people. So what is it? Self-actualization is the realization or fulfillment of one's talents and their potentialities, especially when you consider it internally inside of us as a drive or need that's already in us. It's present in every single person. And the idea here is, we'll develop this today, is how do I get that out? How do I get those realization and that fulfillment and these talents coming out inside of me? So let's unwrap this. So the realization here in the definition is an act of becoming fully aware of something. And so most recently, my trainer and helper, Terry Ann, posted a picture of herself on Facebook after she had committed to, really hitting it hard and really getting her exercise back into focus. And another wonderful friend of mine, Rachel, who has also been doing this and is really committing to, getting outside and getting outdoors and really working on this. And they both now have the realization that if they are continuing to do those necessary tasks every day, they're starting to get some fulfillment as a result of those activities. The achievement of something desired, promised, or predicted. So when anybody comes to SLC for the first time, as I've talked about, we're going to do a discovery session, and we're going to write down your goals, and we're going to look at what you desire in your life and what you want to change. The other part of fulfillment is the achievement of something promised. Okay? Now, if any professional, a financial consultant or a nutritionist or a certified personal trainer, if anybody's promising you anything, you need to be skeptical of that. At least I was, because promised is different. Okay? Promised denotes that I've got to do something myself in order to be promised that. If I don't take the necessary actions that Terry Ann and Rachel have done, I'm probably not going to reach my promises. What we can tell you as professionals is that if you do those tasks every day, we can predict very clearly that there's going to be some change in your life. For example, when it comes to finances, if you sit down with us again in the assessment session and you're a little too much in debt and you're having trouble from a cash flow standpoint, meeting those obligations and so forth, and we sit down and we create a plan for you on how to improve yourself financially, and you're doing the tasks like not spending money on new things, but paying down old debts and saving money for weddings and retirement and college education and so forth, and putting those in a good base of foundational mutual funds and investments. If you're doing all of those things, then as a chartered financial consultant, I can very easily predict for you, can't promise, but I can predict for you, and we actually do that in modeling, that if you continue to do that, you're going to reach and fulfill your financial goals. The talent, then, is this natural aptitude or skills that we're bringing to the table. And so, as I've been harping on the last couple of months here, is that we need to know as people What are our talents? What's inside of there? And what are we bringing to the table? And therefore, we want to maximize those talents. So then we get to the conundrum of the definition, which talks about potentialities. And this is the reason why professionals shouldn't promise you anything. We can predict, and you can do a large part in helping us with what you desire. But here's the deal, potential, okay? Having or showing the capacity to become or develop into something in the future. Capacity is important here. It's the max amount that something can hold and or produce. So that's in its adjective form. In the noun form, potential stands for latent qualities or abilities that may be developed and lead to future success. So the definition of latent here is very, very important, and probably the reason I failed for so long in getting myself back in shape and getting myself living more abundantly in all four facets of an abundant life. Latent is a quality existing but not yet developed or manifested. There's that dang word again that we used last week, hidden or concealed. So I believe that we were all given these natural talents that are inside of us, but in my case, they were latent. They were sitting there and wishing and praying and taking no action and wishing things to change. Those qualities couldn't be activated. They were latent. They were there, but I didn't engage them, especially when it comes to my spirituality. So, I believe that God, as I understand, God made a boat for us. The boat floats. It's got a rudder on it, and it's got a sail on it, and it's got places not only for me to sit down, but people close to me, my loved ones, to sit down as well. And so what latent spirituality means to me today is that I can sit on that boat and I can pray as hard and diligently, and I can meditate for answers and so forth. And that boat's not going to go anywhere unless I put forth some action. So what's my responsibility? My responsibility is to put my hand on that rudder and then ask for direction from God as I understand God. Which direction? Should I turn it to the right, to the left? Where should I put my sail, and so on? And have faith then that by doing my part, which is grabbing onto that rudder and asking for God's direction, that boat is going to be steered where it's supposed to go. So I'm going to self-actualize. I'm going to bring out the best that I can possibly be. And I am limited, as we all are, on those qualities, what are inside of us. So then what we do is we then start to go back here and say, well, the stuff that I'm not very good at, the stuff like learning how to use a computer and getting over my own fear of that technology, I had to specifically work on that. That's things that don't come to me quite easily. These other people that I've been working out with, they aren't former athletes. That doesn't come easily to them. It's uncomfortable. So, but what's latent inside of them, guys? Here's the key. Qualities can be developed, and you can get better at something if you work on it, right? So what's that potentiality? It comes down to the desire. Okay, I can't promise you guys anything, but if you want to be fulfilled, excuse me, I went too far here. The desired part of that's internally inside of us. So if I have a desire to change and I do what my professionals are telling me to do, be it financial consultants, psychologists, nutritionists, and trainers, and all those people that I have in my life, if I have a desire to work on that and get better at it, those skills will be developed. And then I will start to realize, holy cow, I'm doing that and it's working. And then the fulfillment of, boy, I really am changing and becoming a better person, the person that I've always wanted to be. Hope that helps, guys. That's what we're doing here, is we're working on making you the best version of you that you can be. Love you guys. Take care.